This Hangout on Air is live. I love reading that. It just confirms we are here. It's Alicia Stringer, always empowering success dreams in here in Nashville. We are on the Millionaire Mindset Hangout with special guests. We got Keisha in the house, and we got special guest Chad, and we are excited to have you guys here, and so thankful that you guys are watching us to be transformed with your millionaire mindset, because we work on this daily, and there are certain things that you need to do in your life that help you. And listening to powerful people that have been able to transform themselves in their lives will really help you understand maybe what's going on in your life, how you can change certain things and change habits, change the way you think, and that is how I've been transformed in so many Hangouts that we've had special guests out on and been able to really tap into their story and how we've been able to change different things in our lives and be able to apply new concepts and things. So last week was a powerful one with Paulina, and we've got today with Chad, and I'm just so excited. I think I remember meeting Chad, I don't know if it was online or an event or whatever, but I remember this one story. I was just moved into my parents' house, which is, how would I describe it? This huge ranch house, and he was posting a lot of, millionaire mindset houses on his profile a lot, and going, which one do you like? And I was kind of going, these are houses that they're trying to sell. How do I help my parents sell their place? And it was a connection where I was making the chat going, let's get on this big house ranch to see what kind of audience I could help sell that ranch. And thankfully this past year or so, was it about a year? It was about a year ago. My parents did sell their place, awesome. and it was amazing that I was trying to figure out how they were doing it. But the realtors are good at what they do, and they've kind of had some connections on the right type of person and the right, because it really was a business that went into and purchased that big huge ranch. So they have like a business thing, and then they put cool internet in there, and I was like the one with the radio and internet. So anyways, they got it doped up now. So it's exciting to see the transformations from, seeing how Chad was looking for those type of houses, how I connected with him in that way, and really being able to transform and change the ways we think and the way we do things in different ways. So I'm excited for you guys to hear his story. So go over to Keisha and listen to where she is at.
Hello, 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 everyone. How are you out there? I'm so excited to be here with Chad today and hear his story, because Chad, I did hear some of your story and about the obstacles that you've overcome, and I know that our listeners out there will really, really take away some great and powerful nuggets about how to overcome, and like Alicia said, have the mindset and the belief that you can get through and reach wherever you're trying to go in life, whatever goals you want to attain or achieve, that you can do it. So I'm excited, mompreneur here in Philadelphia. I got a quiet house. My youngest daughter is about to go to college in 2 days. We just got back from picking up a few more things. It's like every day, a few more things and a few more things. I don't think all of this stuff in the corner of my dining room is going to fit in her dorm room, but we shall see on Thursday. So, Alicia, I'm going to turn it back over to you, because our awesome and amazing Valerie is not with us today. She is in Bali, correct? Right, Alicia? She's in Bali with her twin boys. So we don't have to do any naked kid alerts. No naked kid alerts today. Okay, so Alicia, I'm going to turn it back over to you.
I wonder how they're doing with that naked kid alert in Bali. They're masterminding out there, and it's amazing to see some of the transformations that Valerie has gone through this Hangout and connecting with that mastermind as well. And she always comes out with some of the powerful questions. We want to know, inside your story, Chad, today, what was some of the powerful shifts that you've had that's allowed you to transform where you really see success in your business. You saw some either bigger income, or maybe it was just a transformation in the way that you changed your lifestyle or did things a little differently. So we want to hear some of your story and exactly what it was that mindset shift that allowed you to see that success.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. Thank you so much for inviting me on here. Now, see, you corrected me that one time. It's Alicia, right?
Yeah, it's Alicia.
No, 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 no. You corrected me. You corrected me.
I know, because everybody, like my parents named me Alicia with the SH, and everybody thinks it's more of a Spanish name and uses more of an S sound like the Spanish name, and so everybody reads it a little differently. So it's like, say it's the SH.
How
Alicia.
do you want it pronounced?
It's Alicia.
It's Alicia.
Yes.
Okay. But
Yeah.
that's not what you told me that one time.
Right. No, it's not. I didn't change anything.
Okay. Anyways, so my name is Chad Ogstat. Keisha, I know we've talked several times at events. You're awesome, and thank you so much for inviting me on here. So let's see here. Well, let's see here. I don't talk about this part of my story much, but I guess we'll go into it. It's because it's like at the beginning of my story, and it kind of started breaking me through. You know, Gary Vaynerchuk talks about the times when he realized that he was going to be an entrepreneur and that he wanted something different in his life. And mine was, and I didn't realize this until years after. It was kind of like it's kind of something funny and something tragic, and we'll kind of throw this together. So, on my first day of my senior year of high school, I was hanging out with my best friend at the time, and I was hanging out with these girls that I barely really knew on this island in the river off the side of our state, I guess. I'm in Michigan, and so Grozeal. I'm from Wyandotte. It's like kind of a middle class type town, and then there's this like really high end city that's on an island right off like you have to go over a bridge to get there. And so we're hanging out with these girls in the city, and they, you know, everybody had really nice houses and cars and everything. Anyways, so I was 17. I don't look how old I am, but this was in 2000, the year 2000. I was 17, first day of my senior year, and I'm hanging out with these girls. We had a half a day, and so we're over there, and this was before people really had cell phones on a regular basis. You know, this was, you know, and if you did, you probably kind of just kept it in your car. It wasn't really like on you like you would now. And so we happened to go back to this girl's car. I don't know why. It was just like kind of random. We were hanging out in her house, and then we were just like out in her yard, and then we ended up sitting in her car, and she realized she had like 9 missed calls from a number. Right, a phone number, and we looked. They're like, "Do you guys know anybody from this number?" And I'm like, "Well, yeah, that's my home number." But my parents didn't know these girls at all. Like there was no connection. They had never met them. They'd never been to my house. They didn't know their parents or anything like that. And so there's no reason for them to know her number, especially like her cell phone number. There was no reason for her. And so we called the number back, and it was my grandma on the phone, and she said, "Hey, your dad has had a massive heart attack, and don't speed, but he's at Wyandotte Hospital." Like, yeah, right. Like, I'm not going to speed, right? And so I get in the car. I'm going like 100 miles per hour to the hospital. I realize I get there, and so back up real quick. My dad was a truck driver, and he made good money for our area, but like again, it's like a middle class type area. We're not making a ton of money, but like that was decent money for that area. And so he would like to buy stuff, like he was kind of like a hoarder, and he would buy stuff, and we would always be kind of scraping by, and like the only time that I ever saw my parents ever fight was over money. And I realized later on that you know, I didn't want to have the job like be in a job and struggle just for mediocrity and just for to struggle in life about money. And so I realized that I need to do something more, and like that. So my dad passes away. I pretty much go through this crazy rebellion for like a year or two, which I basically partied a lot and just hung out. I didn't do anything really like big with my life. I almost didn't graduate high school actually, and I didn't get to walk with my class. I skipped a lot. And but this was weird. I was actually kind of shy in school and stuff. But after that happened, I like really kind of broke out of my shell and became more more social with other people. And so I realized that those two things really changed for me after that moment, and that I became more outgoing, and then something broke inside me that I was never going to live like a normal, mediocre life ever in my life. Because, you can, if you ever watch this video, where with Jim Carrey, he talked, and this really kind of like struck me hard, was that his dad, basically, like he struggled at not going after his dreams, and so I never wanted to struggle to not go after my dreams. I'd rather struggle going after my dreams and actually really stretching and growing myself and becoming better and becoming an entrepreneur. I didn't know what I wanted to do. I just know I wanted to be free. I wanted to be rich. I wanted to have an exceptional life, and I wasn't gonna settle for anything less. Then, if you've ever seen the movie Office Space, have you guys seen the movie Office Space?
I think so.
It's hilarious, right?
Watch it again.
It was about this guy that he worked in this office building, and he hated his life. He had his job. He hated his job, and he worked for these people, and their whole the reason for their existence was, this was actually right around the same period. 1999 I think was when the movie came out, and it was his whole job was to take bank code and because remember the Y2K scare, where it was like. It was 1999, and everybody was worried about if going from 2 digits to 4 digits, right? And that was going to crash everything. So their whole job was to switch the code over from 2 digits to 4 digits. And there was a point in the movie where, well, first he goes to a hypnotist, and to like stop stressing about things, because he was like really stressed out. He was like hating his girlfriend at the time, and so they go to this hypnotist, and the hypnotist puts him into a trance. He puts him into a trance, and he gives him gives him suggestions to relax and to really just stop stressing about life, to really just go into like just a place of like where your happy place is almost. And the hypnosis guy, the hypnotist, he actually drops dead in the moment that he puts him into this trance. So he can't come out of it. And so he's basically in like this relaxed state. He didn't care. There was no worries. Just kind of like on an island mentality for the rest. So he just stopped caring about, like things that were going on. So he basically skips work for like a week. And then he meets this girl, and he ends up going back, and he just happens to be in there while they were doing some firings. and they hire these consultants and brought him in, and they're like interviewing him, and they're like, hey, what do you think? Like, why do you, tell us about your day. And he's like, well, I come in and I pretend to be working for like 15, 20 minutes, and then I like pretend, like, then I take an early coffee break, and then I like basically just blow off this day. And like they're like, well, why do you seem to be not motivated to really? He's like, well, if I work, he's like, first I have 6 bosses so if I screw up, I hear it 6 times. 2, there's no motivation for me to produce, to do anything more. There's no reason for me to actually like put out more code or do anything better, because I'm not seeing any. And at that moment, I realized that I could never just work for a paycheck and not get paid more for production. So that's the part of my story that I don't tell a lot. And then so anyways, did you have any other question? I was just telling stories.
Yeah,
No.
that like looks at the way you do things differently. I think that's kind of how like communism was so unattractive, because people all get the same pay, yet the same way with the salary and stuff. You're going to get the same pay no matter good work or bad work or production or not.
Mm-hmm.
And that allows you to look at it differently, going, if I do produce more, I do get more income. And I think that does shift your mindset, going from I should just do the same thing or just do nothing at all, I'm going to get the same pay, compared to if I actually put my motivation, put more effort into it, what more rewards and income you can get from that. So it is a total different mindset and look at it.
Yeah.
So
most people just work hard enough not to get fired.
yeah.
and work and jobs just pay people enough so they don't quit. And it's like, I just couldn't live that. It was like, it was broken for me. Like, after I saw that, I like couldn't go back. There was no unseeing it. And like, you guys are probably watching this now, and you're like, oh crap! Like, I can't go back to that now. Like, there's no going back. The door's been open. You've walked through, and the door is shut. You can't go back. There's no way. And so your mindset, you've just had this, and a lot of people have already there. So I did random sales jobs. I did surveys in the mall. I did, and it was funny is there was a point in time where I could have went either way. I could have like went to like a life of crime, like, because some people really, I mean, because that seems like if the system over here is broken, you could go that route, and you're kind of almost, you could justify it, right? But I had this kind of thing where I was turned on to network marketing not far after that, and I love the idea of leverage, and I love the idea of, well, I'll give you the analogy. It's funny, the guy that's my best friend now, and we're doing this mastermind together and this and that, and he was the guy that actually turned me on to network marketing. He had a really big network marketing team. He still does. He's not really active in it, but he had one back in like 2001. And he had pitched me the company, and he did this analogy. And he was talking about, if you have a village, there's 2 ways, and there's a river down here. There's 2 ways to get the village water. And there's one, you go down there with buckets, and you bring it back to the village, and that's like having a normal job. You're basically, you're going down there, you're working, you're grabbing a bucket, and then you're bringing back. Now, our industry, network marketing, internet marketing, whatever you want to call this, it's more like you're building a pipeline. So you're basically building a pipeline down there, and the pipeline is bringing the water or the money back to your village. And so after seeing that, I was like broken, you know, like I couldn't go back to thinking, all right, I'm just gonna get a bucket. Even though, I mean, there was times that see, every time I started doing sales, and I got into it because I needed money at the time. But then I stayed because the idea of it always had some sort of network marketing feel with it, where you could build a team and you could get overrides, and then you could run an office, and then you could get a bunch of overrides, and you could bunch many offices, and then you got all these overrides. So this is the thing: is I've lived that life, and I've seen what that turns into, right? Um, my right before I made the kind of breakthrough to get into the business that we're all we're all in. Uh, I'm sitting in an office, and I'm come to the pinnacle of my sales career, right? I was making the most money per week. I was making over $2,000 a week selling freaking cable door to door. And I'm sitting in Florida where these people would these different sales organizations would basically pander to me. They would recruit me and tell me all this awesome stuff about their sales organization, and they would pay for me to come to Florida, or wherever, or California. I did that too. And I'm from Michigan, so during the winter, that's awesome. So I'd go down there, and they would pay for my housing, they'd pay for a rental car, they'd pay for all this stuff. And I'm sitting in this office, and I'm listening to this guy speak, and he's making $80,000 a month, running several sales offices for CenturyLink down in Orlando, which we're going to be here in the next 2 months. And so I'm super excited about that. Hell yeah. So I'm sitting there, and I'm listening to this guy, and he's like, I make $80,000 a month. And he's explaining his lifestyle. He's like, I drive from Tampa to Orlando every day. I work 6 days a week. The only vacations that he gets are when he goes and sees the other offices that he oversees. And so I'm like, man, that is not the lifestyle I want. There's no freedom in that. There's no sitting on the beach. There's no escaping away. There's no riding off into the sunset, right? And I want to be able to take a month or 2 or 3 off and have my business still working while I'm off doing whatever. And Valerie's in Bali. Her business is still working. We have several friends that travel the world, and their business still grows while they're off doing fun things. And so I knew about this business. I'd been kind of following it for a while, and that day was the breaking point. I was like, "There's no going back. I'm burning the bridges. I'm done with this trading money for time for money, or even skill for money, or whatever you want to call it." And I quit that job. They immediately kicked me out of the house. I had I think 12 hours or something to get out, and stopped paying for my rental car, and I was basically homeless, and I had $150 left. I jumped into a hotel. I took that $150, and instead of buying a plane ticket, I actually jumped into our business, and I knew that if I would have left, there was a chance that they weren't going to pay me. And so I didn't really have the abundance mindset at the time, and I didn't have any other, I knew that I was going to make money with this online stuff, but I knew it was going to take a little bit of time. So I actually stayed down there for 2 weeks and sat in that hotel room and made videos and blogs and connected with people on Facebook, and just took the most action that I've ever taken in my life. I just went full out, played all in, and I actually made really good money. I made 10 sales my first week. I brought in like 20 some people in the first month or so, and it was kind of like I grinded it out for a while because I didn't have a mentor. I didn't have anybody that actually knew how to, set up systems and do actual marketing. I just knew. I basically took my door-to-door mentality to online stuff and, just ran with it.
That's great success.
Thank you.
Chad. Wow. So in your first weekend, how long exactly have you been in the power? I don't know if we came in around the same time. I'm not sure. How long have you been in?
March of 2013.
Okay, March 2013. Wow,
yeah.
That's awesome. Cool,
Yep.
cool.
And then oh, sorry.
I'm sorry.
So it took me about 6 months to like be able to become full time. I went home and I was doing this, and I was also doing. I actually had a offline mentor, and he actually turned me on to like being able to sell watches, basically in like a flea market type thing. And so I'd go around and I'd sell these cheap watches, and I was able to kind of make a living doing that. And so it took me about 6 months to be able to like not have to do any of that stuff. So it was kind of like my own business, but it was still like grinding it out and stuff like that. So.
Right. And what I wanted to share is that with both of those stories that you shared, the first one about the movie and how the guy was in the office and he was explaining, and you cut off right before he was about to say, when he was explaining his day, it sounded like he was going to say he didn't have any fulfillment. So although it was time for money, it sounded like there was just no fulfillment. So he had no motivation to do anything more. And then when you talked about this man who worked all these hours, yeah, he made $80,000 a month, but where was the fulfillment? There was no fulfillment. No fulfillment. So, freedom means a lot of different things to a lot of people, and it's great to be financially free. But if you don't have time freedom and this freedom, like you said, to do the things you love, like Valerie going to Bali with her 2 twins, 5-year-old boys, and masterminding with people across the world, I mean, that is amazing. I mean, and we get together every 3 months or so, and we mastermind, and we, set new goals in our lives and our businesses so that we can get to the next level. And it's just amazing how it all starts with the mindset. And it took those things in your life, and unfortunately, your dad passing, but it was pivotal. It was a pivotal time in your life where you realize, I'm not going to live that lifestyle. I want more. I want something different. I don't want to have those same type of struggles. If I'm going to struggle, I'm going to struggle for things that's going to make me feel good, where I'm not, it's just, I get it. And I know people out here watching, they get it. And like you said, they've come through the door. So there's no going back.
There is no going back.
Awesome story. Alicia?
Yeah, it's totally just they say there's the right way to do things, and you have to find the right way to do what you love, what you want to do. So I like that, you're finding that fulfillment and the way you want to create your lifestyle, because some people are just certainly happy and getting that paycheck to paycheck, or and maybe they do get their qualified or whatever. Hey, Valerie's here! Oh my goodness! Their qualified vacations or whatever, like seeing Valerie out there on her Valley vacation, I guess you would say. Mastermind. I'm so glad you're here, Valerie, popping on. And there's more fulfillment. I want to hear more of Chad. What kind of things, since you've been able to create this lifestyle of, fulfillment and being full-time and what you want to create, what kind of things are you looking forward to, what I call our success streams in our life, and what fuels us to keep that strong mindset to not go back to trading time for money and trading, things that are not going to get us to where we want to go?
Yeah, totally. So actually, it was weird. One of my even before I started online, or like really online full time, was I wanted to become like super rich, and I wanted to travel the world and find like mentors and like just improve myself to like a crazy level, right? I wanted to be able to go and like, okay, if I want to do a coaching with this person, I want to do a mastermind here. I want to be able to do a seminar here that's really high level, and I've been able to do that. I've been able to train with 8-figure earners, people that have made $200 million selling their products and services and being able to do different things. So I've been able to not spend a winter in Michigan in the last 3 years. Or 2 years, like, well, that, I guess, like, if you want to count that one, because in 2013 I wasn't here either, but that was, for that reason, so the next 2 years I've kind of kept with that. I find somewhere warm to go, and I go. Last year I went to, or this most recent year I went to California, a lot of good friends in Northern California, and the year before I was in somewhere, I don't remember. Anyways, so we go to events every 3 months, and the cool thing is I'm able, if there's something going on around the event, there's like a mastermind. If there is a, if there's like another event, like I've done it where I've gone to an event the week before in one state, and then the next week go to our event, so I'm like free to, like, this time I'm hosting a mastermind the week before, and then the week after I might go to LA to do something different, right? There's another like a event thing going on, so I'm free to do whatever I want. Like my friend Tom's hitting me up about going to some like, basically, like, I don't know, I don't even know what it is, but it looks awesome, and it's in like 2 weeks, and he's hitting me up right now. He's like, hey, wait, let's go, and I'm like, all right, let's do it. And so, I have the free, like, unfortunately, I was actually at another event when the Tony Robbins thing was in Chicago. I wanted to go to that, but I was at a different thing. It's like, so I could go to really much anything I want. If I want to go, I would love to have gone to Bali with them, and I totally could have. And that looks like a blast. So
amazing.
Yeah, I can imagine. So there's all this stuff going on constantly to improve myself, to become a better person, so that I can impact more people, that I can take my business the people around me lives to another level. And so that's what it's about. And so, and that's what I'm just nonstop improving myself. So I've been able to do that, like, pretty much as I want. It's crazy. I love it.
That's awesome. Valerie.
Hey. Yeah, it's been a little crazy here, and all of a sudden I was like, the time differences. I got a little confused. I was like, oh, I see the link. I'm hopping on. Yeah, and those who don't have Valerie Dempolsky, Abundance Montpelier from Abundance, now I'm actually in Valerie Trip. And Chad, I'm so excited for you. I'm sorry, I will have to listen to the replay to hear the rest of your story and your on what led to your massive, what mindset shift led to your success. Because I'm coming in late, but yeah, it would be cool to have you here in Valerie.
No worries. What time is it out there?
It's like almost 2 in the morning. I was literally like, the mastermind goes from, the official stuff, of course, hanging out with everybody, and got back in and pulled up my phone just to see what was going on. I went, oh, I see the link to the Hangout. I got all the times all mixed up because it's Wednesday for me. So,
Awesome.
Very excited that you joined us, Valerie. You look awesome too. Looks like you're partying when you're and enjoying yourself out there, huh?
Yeah, it's beautiful. It's beautiful here, and it's actually been really transformational as well. It's like it's powerful stuff on a lot of different levels. A lot of different levels. Yeah, that's the thing. Having the freedom to be able to do this. You know, it's like I get it, Chad. I get it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's cool. It's very, very cool. So, well, I don't know if you guys have asked this yet. For what would you say if you're like, so everybody's watching this? What have you already asked him what his like what your daily method of operation is every day for your mindset? What kind of stuff you work with? What do you do?
Yeah, so the two things that I do, I'll hold it out here, let me. I wrote down my 90-day outcome. So, and actually, I'm kind of mad because I'm lucky, kind of. I don't know if you can see it, but what I did is I wrote it down in the notebook, which I guess it'd be on my other computer that I just got a new computer. I had my phone wiped because it was having some issues, and I took a picture of it, and I sent it to myself or something like that. Or
Right.
I had it twice on there. But so what I do is I wake up in the morning, I read that, and it's like an intense visualization of my perfect 90-day outcome, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so I got that going. Then I will do some sort of mindset in the morning. Usually it's 1 or 2 inner circle audios. One is Speak the World into Existence. The other one, I'm not even sure the name of it. All I know is it's with Chris Rushlow and Dave Wood, and it's about just doing whatever it takes, basically. The other thing is I recorded my basically speaking what I want into existence, and I listen to that while I'm working. And so I do that through Audacity, which is pretty awesome.
Cool.
Oh, awesome.
That is cool.
Mm-hmm. So those are the three things.
That last one, we've talked about recording yourself in your help me out, ladies. I just lost my train of thought. Your improving your self-confidence by recording your affirmations and listening to that a few times a day, but even listening to your 90-day goal. So you're saying the story that you wrote out, you recorded that.
Actually, no, it's separate. So my Audacity. So I have that. It's timeless. It's basically, if you listen to Grant Cardone, he made that book. So if you listen to it in 50 years, it's still applicable to anybody, even 50, 100, doesn't matter. Everything in it is timeless, right? There's no way it's expired. And so that's what I did with my Audacity. Now my 90-day game plan or my 90-day thing is what I read in the morning and before I go to bed. So if you listen to like Dave and Will when they did theirs, everything that they spoke into existence was timeless. There was no this is this time. So I do both. I speak the world, or I speak my 90-day. I visualize that, and I do the kind of timeless things. I listen to that all day.
Awesome.
Cool.
Thank you.
So
Alicia, that's what he said. He said that he brought up the book, the 10X, right? The 10X rule.
Yep.
There you go.
We're looking for 3 people next week to come out and share their insights with the 10X rule too. So be looking for that post and message us if you want to be featured.
Yeah, let me know. I'll jump on it for sure.
Awesome.
Oh.
We're excited to go back through that book. I don't think we've talked about it yet, so we're looking forward to talk about the 10X rule next week. Excellent.
And speaking of books, if you could just share with our audience, because this is another question that we like to ask our guests, you know, what 3 books would you recommend to them to use to, you know, either help them in business or with their mindset to help them change their paradigm?
You know, 3 books is well, here I'll whip out the Audible and we can kind of go through. I'm not sure if I could put it down to just 3. They changed the color of my app. Okay, so you got Secrets of the Millionaire Mind, or yeah, Secrets. What's this one? So yeah, it's now it's downloading. Oh, that's fine. So Secrets of the the other thing I do for mindset is I do at night hypnosis. There's tons of them, right? So there's a guy, his name's Eric Brown. If you go to Audible, you can look up Eric Brown hypnosis, and there's pretty much one on anything you could possibly think of. So the one I'm listening to right now is Unlock Your Human Potential, or Your True Human Potential. So that one, yeah, pretty cool. Then I have it's The Confident Man Success one that's really good. So this is another one, Money, Wealth, and Power, 10X Rule. So well, these we can go through here. So Ask and It's Given, Jerry Hicks and Esther, you know. So Influence, that's a little bit more advanced. People, you know, Money Mastery, Master the Game with Tony Robbins, 10X Rule, The Secrets of Success with Eric Thomas. This is a Napoleon Hill book. Oh, this is a good one. The Great Little Book of Affirmations with Noah St. John's. It's all about asking good questions.
Right.
Start with Why with Simon Sinek. 50th Law with 50 Cent and Robert Greene.
Yeah.
This is a really awesome one. Not a lot of people really talk about, but it's an ultimate introduction to NLP. With Richard Bandler. It's a really awesome one because it's done in like you're in a seminar and he's talking about how it's so Way of the Peaceful Warrior is really a breakthrough book on like you know, basically just how to live life. It's more of it's an awesome book and it's a story, so that's really good. 4-Hour Work Week, 48 Laws of Power, really good stuff in there, just kind of for life stuff. This is just kind of some other stuff I got in here.
Yeah, awesome.
That's cool.
That's a great list. Someone else, I don't remember who else mentioned that book, The Way of a Peaceful Warrior. Someone else I recall mentioning that book. But a lot of those are, on the list of great leaders out there. So we know that you are tapping into the right source. And so I need to get that Audible app on my phone because I know sometimes I download the ebooks, but is that an ebook with Audible, or can you listen to it as well?
It's listen.
Audible.
Yeah, it's audio.
Yeah, I like that better.
It's way better. I'll give you the honest truth. I mean, and this isn't the thing because, well, so Aaron, you know, I listen to Aaron Rashkin a lot, and it's like one of the reasons that you actually want to read is because listening to an audio is one thing, right? You're getting all this good stuff into your head. The thing is that you believe yourself way over any of this stuff. And so when you are actually the voice reading the book, you're going to soak it up more. So what I end up doing is I'll do an audio and I'll listen to it like 3-4 times just to really get it in there. So that's how I do it. I know a lot of people, they'll go through a book and they'll highlight and stuff like that. That's great. But yeah. So.
Good. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Very, very cool.
Valerie,
So, Have we got any comments in the chat?
I checked. No, I didn't see anything. I did tell everybody to make sure they refreshed and let them know where they were at, but I don't see any comments right now.
Well, cool. For anybody watching the definitely please, if you've got questions, comments, anything, put it in the chat for us. We're here as if we're all in the same. Well, I'm on the other side of the freaking world, but we're all in the same time essence, basically, or like you're here with us all at the same time in energy. So we are all connected, and you can leave a comment, and it's as if we're all here responding to you. So we'll get in there and we'll respond back. So
Definitely.
cool.
So I know you usually like to ask the question to close us out, Valerie. Would you like to go ahead since you are with us and ask Chad, the question that you know what I'm talking about?
Oh, you guys haven't even done that yet. Oh, cool. All right. Oh, I thought I'd missed that part, guys. Yeah,
No. I'm talking about to close us out. When you ask him what would he like to share, I wanted to let you do it since you are live with us here from Valley. But
okay. Yeah, I mean, basically the question is what would you say was the most powerful mindset shift that to your system, and how did you get there?
Well, he actually answered that. He did.
Is that the question? You already asked him that question.
Yeah, I'm sorry for confusing
I can answer that better because I don't think I mean, I've had several shifts in my life. I've had like 4 kind of pivotal ones. And in the last 8 months, 6 months, March, whenever that was, right, I had a really big shift in just in the belief that I was worthy to kind of put my face on my business. That was the big thing. I was always wanting to kind of let the system do everything for me, and I didn't feel it was because I didn't feel worthy of really kind of being on the front of my business, if that makes any sense.
I get it.
Yeah, because it just we one of the biggest things that breakthroughs that you'll have in your business is when you believe that you're worthy of actually the success that you could really have in your business. You're worthy, you can do this. It's just there's different levels of belief in yourself, and that was one of them. And then I had even a bigger one where I was like, no matter. It's funny, is like everybody has things going on in the background, right? I can't remember who it was, but somebody posted something. It's like, don't compare your like what's going on in the background with you to everybody's perfect picture, right? And so everybody kind of has things, so don't let the stuff in the background not let you show the best side of you, and be worthy of the level of success that you deserve. And a lot of us drag our heels in success because they don't feel that they're worthy of getting there, right, or being there, right? I have a friend. I told him, he was getting like hundreds of comments and likes and stuff on his thing, and I'm like, but he was broke as hell. The kid was he was living just terribly, didn't have any, anything. And I was like, dude, why don't you create a coaching thing for how you're doing this with your interaction? There's people out there that could take what you do and run with it and make a lot of money. And I know he had this self thing but this is the thing, that was the value he could give to them that is going to make him a ton of money. And so he was holding it off. He was he didn't feel that he was worthy because he was living in the situation that he was living in. But that was the thing. Les Brown was living on the floor of his office and going out and doing speeches the next day.
Wow.
If Les Brown can do it, you can do it, right? You can go out there and charge top dollar. You're worthy. You can do this, and I believe in you guys.
Cool. Very, very cool. That's so powerful, Chad. And it's just, yeah, just getting that sense of feeling that that's a huge shift. That's a huge shift.
I did want to note that I think was it since that shift that we started seeing you more and on stage and things like that, Chad?
I mean, I after I had that first shift, I tripled my income the next month.
Yeah.
I now charge like top dollar for my coaching and get it. I'm now doing a mastermind with 6- and 7-figure earners, charging like big money, not like big money, but like pretty reasonable amount of money to go. And well, you guys will have to come to see what we're doing next.
Awesome. So everyone out there is very privileged to have our guest Chad on with us today, just sharing a powerful story, because you're so right. When you realize that you are worthy, and the other piece is that you have it all there. So he had it all inside of him, your friend, and that he was worthy. So, so many people don't realize that, and they don't understand it, and that's the block. That's the block that doesn't take them to that next level.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And these are the things right here that really make big shifts, because all the technical crap, the thing is, we could sit here and do like Twitter strategies till like where our mouth is blue. But like, if people have a ton of success with it, and then they'll like put the brakes on because they don't feel that they're worthy of the success that they're getting, right?
Yeah.
And so it's like, until you can realize that, you can't really have lasting success. You'll have a bunch of success, and then you'll drop back down. You'll have a bunch of success, and then you'll drop back down. And you'll just keep on doing that. And it's like when you really can believe in yourself, believe that this is going to work for you. And because that's another thing Holden Bugg says, one of the things he always gets asked, before he launched his most recent business, he's like, what would you do differently if you were going to do it all again? And he said, I would believe bigger, faster. And it's all about that. You need to believe that you can do this. You need to believe that this is the right business for you, and that you can make this work as fast as possible. Like because there's a link down there somewhere, you're going to want to click there. And so you're going to want to get started, right? But this is the thing, you need to believe that this is going to work, and that you can do this, and that you're worthy. And when you can believe those two things, you're like unstoppable, because you don't give up, right? If you can just keep on going with that, you can just have success. It's just because the system works. Other people are having success with it. The only difference between people that are really having success with this kind of stuff and not having success is really the belief. Because belief, as soon as you have the belief, then you take action. Because it's like there's no way that you can truly believe that this will work for you and not take action. Right? Because even if you don't know what to do, you'll just go out there and do something until you can kind of figure something out and get it to work, right? And luckily, I saw that this could work for somebody else at least. Like I can make it work from the very beginning. Like if I didn't believe that this would have worked, I wouldn't have took the crazy action that I did. And so. When you have, and then celebrate those little successes, because that'll just keep on reminding you that this works, that this works, this works, this works, this works, right? Every time you have a lead or a sign up or whatever, right? Every time this works. Wow, this really works.
Yeah.
This works. And so you just have to believe that this works, that you are worthy, and after that it's just everything gets out of the way, and you just have success.
Yeah.
Very
Awesome.
cool. All right. So I think we're at the top. We aren't even saying the times. Are we at the top of the hour?
Yes, definitely.
We are.
I think you know what Brad said is just truly it. You know, I think he shared what our viewers need to know, and what they need to do is connect with us. Whoever sent you the link, whoever said, "Listen, watch this awesome man as a special guest here." They care about you and they want to help you. So click the link below so that you can have these same transformations in your life to take your life, not just your business, your life. We are totally different people now because of the mindset shift that we've had in our lives. Totally different people. We've shared it, and if you haven't watched some of our previous ones, we want to encourage you to go to our page and click on some of those past Millionaire Mindset Hangouts and just watch it. It's tons of value, tons of value. So get connected to whoever shared this with you. Click the link below. I don't know if anyone else wants to say anything else before we go, but I'm just really excited and happy to have you here as our guest today, Chad.
Thank you so much, Keisha. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
And so what you guys need to do right now is there's click the thing down there, right? And then there'll be a form with a bunch of information. So you fill that out just like you would want your name would be like on a check or something, right? Like, so we say we do direct deposits, but like say that we were going to send you a check. You'd fill it out just like you would want your name, or on the bank deposits, or whatever you want to call it. You know, fill out your name and all that information, and then at the bottom, you know, just put in the information. Just go ahead and get started. It's a very simple situation. We can mentor you to take your business to the next level. We can help you believe in yourself, right? Because that's really what it's about. And everything else works. We know it works. I've had tons of success. Everybody on here has had a ton of success. If we can make it work, you can make it work. It's just you just need to follow kind of what we went over in here, and you can make it work. So appreciate you.
Cool. Yeah. Good.
Appreciate you, Chad. Thank you so much. And message us on our fan page. The link is on the page as well to be featured. And if you've read the 10X rule, read it for next week. And I'll see you next week, Tuesday, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Thanks, guys. Bye.
Bye, Alicia.
Love you guys.